Hello, it's Henna. Thanks for watching. Today I'm going over some Zoologist perfumes that I have samples of, and I'm going to tell you what I think about them and why I like the ones that I like and why I don't like certain ones that I don't like. Now, I've mentioned Zoologist probably a bunch of times, but I do have a bottle of Camel. This is it right here. I don't have full presentation on this because I did buy it used, but most of this was me using it because I think it was like near the top when I bought it. And Camel is a beautiful, warm, ambery perfume. It has a really strong date top note, so you must like dates to wear this perfume. The date is a made-up perfume note, so it doesn't actually smell like the dates that you eat, in my opinion. I feel like it's more almost like a sour note, and it really reminds me of eating tamarinds. So if you have like dry tamarind and you like eat the tamarind pulp, that's what this smells like. So, or that's what the date note smells like. That's not the whole perfume. There's other things in this. I have reviewed this already, and I definitely wore it way too much this winter, to the point where I kind of don't want to smell it right now. This would not be in my top 10 right now, just saying. Just because I wore it too much, not because it's like a bad perfume. It is a great perfume, and that's why I wore so much of it. I just overdosed on the Camel. So that's Camel. You can see the bottles are really beautiful. I mean, this is a, I would say, niche luxury perfume line, so a little bit harder to find and sample, but you do get all the bells and whistles when you buy it. So nice heavy glass bottle, beautiful cap. You know, it's not magnetic, but it is a really nice cap, and just like really nice presentation. So love that. Really like the bottles. 100% recommend. But let's talk about all the other perfumes that I have. I have Squid. I have Seahorse, I have Nightingale, I have Moth, I have T-Rex, and Chameleon. So these are all in production right now. Of course, there's many more, but these are the 6 samples that I have right now. So I'm going to talk about these 6. I'll start by talking about Seahorse, because this is the sample that I've had the longest. Camel is the first sample that I ever got, and immediately when I smelled it, I loved it, and I knew that I would get a bottle. In fact, I ended up giving my sample to my friend because she liked it and she bought a bottle right away. So definitely, I trust my nose on that one, and I really liked it. Then I ended up getting a Seahorse sample. I think I got this with an order that I placed, and they sent me Seahorse free of charge. I bought the travel size of the Camel, and they sent me Seahorse. Seahorse is, as you can imagine, an aquatic fragrance. To my nose, it's very masculine. In fact, it reminds me of other masculine aquatic fragrances that are out there, such as Cool Water. And I bring that up because I had seen people talk about Seahorse, and when I smelled it, I was really underwhelmed. I kind of felt like I was missing something, you know, because all these people had really pumped up Seahorse, and when I smelled it, I thought it smelled kind of average to me. But recently, I had a little smelling party, and we smelled all of these, and everybody said exactly the same thing. And then I took these in to a group of students that I was with, and everybody said exactly the same thing. And a lot of people enjoyed it because it does remind them of a typical masculine fragrance. So if that's something you like and that's something you're looking for, maybe you will enjoy Seahorse. But for me, if it reminds me of something that I can easily get at the drugstore, then why am I paying so much money and seeking out something that is niche? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. The notes for this are cardamom, fennel, ambrette, clary sage, tuberose, neroli, algae, vetiver, and ambergris. I do get a lot of vetiver and a lot of algae, and like I said, I get a really nice aquatic perfume, and that's great. I didn't get any cardamom, and I love cardamom as a note. I got a bit of the freshness from this fennel. I didn't get very much ambrette, but if you're looking for an aquatic perfume, maybe you would get those things and you could enjoy Seahorse for what it is. I just didn't pick up on all those other pieces of it, and to me this seemed kind of basic. So those are my thoughts on Seahorse. I don't know, I held on to it because I was hoping that my view on it would change, that maybe someday I would smell something that was like breathtaking, I guess, but it hasn't happened yet. And yeah, that's Seahorse. Okay, if you've tried this one, tell me what you think. I know people can pick up on the neroli, so lots of people have said to me that they really love the neroli in this perfume. And that's the thing. Like, there's always, I find with Zoologist more than any other brand, they list so many notes. So for this one, they've listed 9 notes that you can smell. And I sometimes feel like that's too many because I don't know. And ambrette usually is a base note, so they listed that as a top note. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I feel like if there were a smaller amount of notes, maybe, hopefully, they would be a little bit more accurate. But in this case, I don't think they are. I mean, that's just my opinion. They also say on their website that they're not a fragrance brand that is safe to blind buy, so do not blind buy these. I think, but the reason for that is because they list so many notes, and sometimes their descriptions don't really match what you're smelling. If they had just said that this is a masculine aquatic scent, I think I would have gotten the picture a lot better than these 2 paragraphs that they wrote on it. I just think it's so much easier to communicate when you use the language that we have already established about perfume. Not that we need to use all of that, but definitely something like saying aquatic, masculine, that would have worked here. I know that also they don't want people to not try things, but you can't really go to a store and smell a whole line of Zoologist perfumes, at least not in Canada, which is where this brand is from. So it would help people that are buying samples off their website if they made it more clear what kind of perfume it was, in my opinion. I just think, you know, as someone that is buying the samples, that's how I would like to spend my money. Okay, let's talk about Squid. This is Squid right here. I kind of liked Squid. I did like it. Squid is inky and incensey and still cool and blue, so that's kind of nice. I really liked that. In my opinion, the notes, the vibe, the essence of the perfume really matched up to what I would think of a squid. Not that I've spent so much time thinking about squids. I do enjoy eating calamari from time to time. I really like calamari. But yeah, I really enjoyed this perfume. They've listed pink pepper, solar salicylate, incense, black ink accord, salty accord. It is salty. 10 out of 10 on that. Love that. Apopanax, ambergris, benzoin, and musk in this perfume. Yes to everything. Everything works really well. I really liked this. It does remind me of L'Eau Froide by Serge Lutens, and given the choice, I can probably find a bottle of L'Eau Froide for $100 or less. So I would like that, and I kind of like the simplicity of the Serge brand also. But if you're an animal lover, Squid might be the one for you. So, and you have to like incense, and you have to be okay with salty perfumes. I would say do not be thrown off by the ambergris. I know for some people really don't like ambergris, but the ambergris in this is kind of gentle. It's not an overdose of ambergris, and I found Squid to be very wearable and very likable and unisex, so that is great. For this one, I don't know if you can say what kind of category it would fit in, but I would call it a cold incense perfume if I had to kind of define what kind of perfume it is. Okay, so that is those are my thoughts on Squid. Okay, let's talk about Nightingale. Nightingale I've gotten quite recently, maybe the most recently, and definitely feminine. And I mean, if you didn't gather by the peach and pink, I would say it's more of a feminine perfume. It is a fruity rose scent, so you must like fruity roses in order to enjoy this. To my nose, a little bit of a lychee nose, almost like Delina, but definitely better than Delina. I can't stand Delina. It's way too sweet. This doesn't go into like the sweetness as hard. It's definitely a likable sweet perfume. It's still a little bit grown up, so I really like that. They have listed plum blossom as one of the top notes, and I could definitely smell the plum blossom, I could smell the rose, and I could smell the violet. And they've also listed ambergris, moss, incense, labdanum, patchouli, musk, sandalwood, and oud. So not very oudy. It's not barnyardy at all. It's definitely not medicinal. I couldn't get a lot of oud from this. If you're familiar with Dior Oud Ispahan, this is completely different. So I would not worry about the oud if you are averse to trying oud perfumes. I would say primarily this is a fruity rose perfume. So must like fruity roses to like this. I didn't immediately like this. I thought it was kind of basic also, just because I've smelled so many fruity roses before. But it has kind of grown on me, and I've let it dry down on paper for a day, and it just gets better and better and better. So I really need to try this more on skin and post a better review once I've tried it on skin. All the others I've tried on skin. This one I really haven't. I was scared of it going too sweet, but it's like delicious and it's really, really nice. So if you are looking for a fruity rose, this might be the one for you, and you might really like this. So that is Nightingale. Okay, I would give this a good mark, a solid 6 or 7 out of 10. 6 probably. Okay, Squid I would probably give a 6 or 7. I mean, it reminds me of another perfume, so that would lower its mark. Seahorse I wouldn't give a good mark at all, because it's okay. I mean, there's just so many other perfumes that are in this category. This is not adding anything new to that, in my opinion. Okay, let's talk about Moth. Moth is a dry, dusty perfume. It really makes you think of your grandma's attic or something like that, and it's meant to be dry and dusty. It's quite powdery, so you have to like powder notes. I think there's violet in this, and I mean, I really enjoy Moth, but it also had to grow on me, and it is a very, very strong perfume. So that is Moth. I would not know what to think of Moth if you told me that I was smelling a Moth perfume, but I do really like the dry, dusty qualities of this. I love powdery perfumes, so this is right up my alley. Really, really like Moth. Okay, then I have T-Rex. T-Rex is the best of the bunch. It is so good. It smells like literally, you know, oh my god, the dinosaurs are dying and everything's burning, and this is what that perfume smells like. It smells like burning rubber and like burning tires and smoke and like cigarettes, and everyone that smelled this really was intrigued by it. It's kind of like the reaction that people have when they smell Nightclubbing by Celine, where there is that like that cigarette smoke kind of scent in the opening of it, and then it kind of changes into something else, and that's just so cool, you know. And T-Rex really does that too. I mean, it's a little bit sweet in the dry down, but it has a really cool opening that is still wearable. Like, it's not necessarily the most likable. Somebody might not want to hug you immediately after you sprayed it, but I think once it warms up on skin, it's really nice. And people have smelled it on me. The dry down is a lot of incense, and there's still some smoke. People have smelled it on me and thought that I smelled nice, and they had no idea that it was supposed to smell like burning tires and stuff. So love T-Rex. I think T-Rex is gorgeous perfume. Definitely worth sampling and seeing if it works for you. If not, maybe getting a travel size. So I haven't decided what I will do once I finish the sample, because I like the sample. I just don't know if I would get a lot of use out of a bottle of this perfume. But I do like T-Rex a lot, and this was a successful sample purchase, so I like that one. Okay, last one is Chameleon right there. Chameleon is, can't remember. I don't like Chameleon. I remember why I don't like it. It's got violets and fruit in it, and I just don't think they go well together. I think it's violet and strawberries or something. Yeah, and not for me. Not for me at all. I just think it's a really odd combination. It is like eating those violet candies, and here's the thing. If you ate violet candies but never had a violet perfume, you are going to associate violet with candies. But if you never ate the candies and only smelled violet perfume, you will think of violets, which is great, or the violet perfume actually. But if you now pair that violet with something that's fruity and sweet and more edible, I don't know if you're necessarily gonna like that. Like, this to me does not smell yummy. It doesn't smell pleasant. It just smells weird. It smells plasticky. And so I really was not a fan of Chameleon. I still liked it better than Seahorse, because at least it wasn't redundant. It's not like it was just another perfume in this category that has so many perfumes in it. I just don't want to smell like this. Yeah, it smells like that soap gum. It smells like the soap gum. So I think I might have it somewhere. I have like a little drawer. I can't find it. But I have a little drawer with like snacks that remind me of perfume. So I have like a bag of unopened musk sticks, and I have soap gum somewhere, but it smells like the soap gum. So if you want to smell like that, maybe this would be your thing. But if that's not for you, then I would give this a pass. I definitely agree with the brand that these are not necessarily safe blind buys, especially something like T-Rex, which is so different from anything else that's out there. You can't even really put it in a category. I would say night clubbing is the closest thing that you could compare it to. And T-Rex is the one I was just talking about, and Moth is so powdery. And I think part of the thing is that you can't immediately match the scent to the animal. And I've actually done that exercise with people where we try to spray blindly and then, you know, try to match up the scent with the animal. And it's not really as easy as you would think. Maybe because, you know, both of these live in the water, and so both of these could be aquatic or have aquatic qualities to them. But you know, only one of them really is an aquatic scent, and the other one is not as much of an aquatic perfume. So that's it for me. Those are my thoughts so far about some of these Zoologist perfumes. I haven't found one that I feel like I need another bottle of. I haven't really found anything that blew me away or was completely different than anything else I had ever smelled before. So I don't know if I'm going to be adding to my collection this year. I know there's so many other new ones in this line, and I haven't been able to try them. So I will see, but I'm intrigued, and I still am interested in smelling everything else that they come out with, because everything in the brand is with a different perfumer, which brings a completely new perspective and completely new point of view. And I love that. And I love that, you know, there's all these animals and a different way of thinking of things. So you kind of have to really use your brain in that way. And I love that. I enjoy doing that. But right now, Camel is my ride or die from the House of Zoologists. And I love it. I'm going to probably pull it out again next winter, sometime in December. So I'll update on whether I'm using it then. But that's it for me. And thank you for watching. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.